what we got here is just a simple spider rigging rig. I take a 3/4 to a 1/2 ounce lead, and I take a swivel, and I actually tie it up under the lead, and I normally just do a normal fishing knot, which is you turn it around 7 to 8 times. I really don't know the name of it, but you go around 7 times, 7 to 8, stick it back through the loop, pull it back through this loop, snug it up, wet, and then pull it down. When I first started off, I used to use a lot of Caps and Coleman's rigs, double hook rigs, but we found out, I got a couple of them tied on here, but I found out that they're sometimes more trouble than they're worth. They get tangled up really easy. They take a lot of time to tie, and I used to have a whole spool pre-tied, but I got where I just used a single hook, especially when you're fishing close to the bottom and you got a lot of stripers. After the swivel, I tie on a fluorocarbon leader. I usually don't tell many people that. That's kind of my little secret. I believe in fluorocarbon. It's not as strong as your normal mono, but it's well worth it. And it's when the water gets colder, crappie can see better. And sometimes in clear water, especially, we haven't had a lot of rain, and the water is really clear. And I use fluorocarbon, 6-pound fluorocarbon. And on the end of that leader, I either tie a jig or assorted hooks. I got hooks of different colors. I believe in using different color hooks. I got red hooks. And another thing I use very small hooks. A lot of people say, why use so small a hook? You know, well, it lets the bait, when we use a lot of minnows, it lets the bait swim very freely. And to tie that hook on, I do an overhand loop knot. You just take both, go through your eye, come back with a string, double overhand, go around your fingers one time, and back through twice. We'll go over this again. It allows your hook to freely move around. I do my jigs the same way. And it allows, when we lip hook the minnow, it allows it to swim around and looks real. And this was what the rig consists of. Okay, your main line, a lot of times I'll beef up that line to 8-10 pound, come down to a 3/4 to a 1/2 inch egg sinker, to a swivel to stop it, and down to approximately an 18-inch leader, and to a loop hook tied hook. That's all we use. Could be a jig down there. A lot of times we use just plain jig heads. And to store these poles, I just hook it and then I spin it like that. These silver poles are a little flimsier, so I actually use a little bit smaller lead. Normally I use 3/4, but sometimes when we'll be fishing probably around 18 to 20 foot deep, and I usually like to run 3/4 for that. If you get shallow, you can back off the lead a little bit, because the lead, believe it or not, can spook the fish too. These take a lot of time, and I kind of wanted to go ahead and tie them at night, as of course we're probably going to lose a bunch tomorrow, but I did not want to do this the first thing in the morning, especially being 38 degrees. I know we're going to have to retie several times. Hopefully that'll be after it warms up a little bit. And I don't like to use a heavy leader. Like I say, my main line is probably 8 pound, 8 to 10 pound, and it's normal monofilament. I like a 6 pound fluorocarbon, because believe it or not, fluorocarbon is a little bit stiffer, but 6 pound, believe it or not, is pretty strong. Landed a lot of big catfish with this. And let's see, let's go with the jig. Like I said, the jig head is tied the same way. Put it through, pull you about 4 to 5 inches back, like that. Grab both lines, go around your two fingers there one time, and go through the loop twice. Put your fingers like this, grab the jig head like that with 2 fingers. With the thumb, you try to get that loop in between the thumb and the index finger, and then you pull loop. It forms a little small 1-inch loop. And what this does, I'll show you. See how that jig head sets there just like this? I mean, it don't matter, turn it loose, it still goes like that. When you lip hook a minnow, and we'll go over this tomorrow, that minnow will sit there, be just like this, and it'll be fluttering, and it'll look more realistic than the lip hook of a regular hook. Because when you lip hook one with a regular hook, the minnow has a tendency to fluttering on the side. It actually looks like a dying minnow. Well, everybody says, well, you need to have it look like a dying minnow. Well, not necessarily. Sometimes you want it to look natural. As you're moving through the water, you want that minnow to be hooked and running through like this, like it's naturally supposed to move through the water. And a lot of times, sometimes we start catching a lot of them on the jig heads versus the minnows, but we run both of them because you never know what mood they're going to be in that day. I hook it in the eye. I grab my line like this. I actually want to bring my lead back here. Put my lead in the line right there. You can go counterclockwise or clockwise, it don't matter, but I just give it a couple turns like that and let it go down as I wrap, and that stores it up. When you go to unwrap, you just grab there and remember which way, and it unwraps and you're ready to fish. So that's just a little helpful hint there. And a lot of times that's all you do, to store.